In this video, we're going to be dispelling the myth that AI cannot be used in elementary classrooms for learning. And we're going to share a ton of really fun, easy ways that you can integrate this to add engagement to your class, add some fun, and unlock your kids' creativity in the process. Also, some great strategies for personalizing for every kid. As we start here, we just want to be looking. There's this resource that has some ideas, but I'm sure if you brainstorm alongside Gemini, you'd be able to come up with many that are even more fun and engaging than what's on this list. But I think we got some great stuff to start with. So, first thing, know that you can co write with Google Gemini. So, let's imagine I've got my kids pulled up to the carpet. We are on the screen and we're about to create our own custom class story. So, some things that you might want to let it know. Hey, you're going to be writing a story for first graders. I'm going to pretend I'm in the frog class, so we're going to feature a funny frog. The kids might have helped me come up with a name for our main character. I just wrote Gomez. The frog should show empathy in the story. So maybe I'm trying to write a social story here, or maybe I'm trying to teach a particular point. You, the teacher, could come up with that. But where it gets really fun, we could also ask kids for input on different things that they want it to be, right? Do we want it to be funny or silly? You can see I also asked it to incorporate just first grade sight words. Maybe a kid in the class loves Minecraft and he says our story should have a creeper from Minecraft. But we could go through, we could try to quickly create an image to represent whatever it is that we're talking about, or sorry, create a story to represent whatever it is we're talking about in our class. So I'm just going to hit send here, and you'll see because I gave it some of those um, constraints, I am able to easily start to see first grade sight words being used in this. Gomez, the funny frog, saw a green creeper crying. Why are you so sad? Asked Gomez in a silly, croaky voice. So it's custom writing for us. I could then, after I make this, ask it to make an image to represent our story. And it will do its best to make an image to represent some of what was discussed in our story. So, you guys, super easy tool to co-create. Oh, look, your hug is so squishy. Pop, let's eat bugs. Very fun. So kids can have a blast with this. You can also take their input for image design too. So it's really fun activity to encourage kids to paint with their words. What are some of the descriptive things we want to say? Do we like this as a cartoon or something different? But pair this with some great turn and talk strategies, and you and your kids will be writing your own custom learning stories in no time. Great for social stories, all sorts of stuff. Other things you can do is we can customize a response chatbot to respond in exactly the way that you want it to respond. And you can also pair it and tell it, hey, let's make sure that every answer a kid has to write is only going to be one word, right? So a chatbot that says, what's your favorite animal? And then it could teach them using only first grade language about an ecosystem using their favorite animal, right? Or what's a hobby or something you like to do at home, right? And then it can teach them about content while incorporating their hobby or their at home interests. So, lots of ways that you can also generate one word chatbots. Encourage you to think about utilizing the voice to text and read aloud feature in Magic School. If kids know how to use that, then they can click the speaker and it will actually read them the response out loud. That's really helpful to practice reading for our kiddos. They can also use the microphone feature in things like Magic School so that they could speak their prompts or answer the questions while speaking. And if you model that for them, they will be able to do that. There's an Explain It Simply tool that really takes a complex concept and you can just ask it, hey, simplify this so that it'll really make sense to my first graders. Lots of ways that you can use this to turn a concept into a fun class song or rhyme, and then read that learning with the kids, practice that rhyme to help that. There are some ways that you can use it even to bring someone into your class that kids might want to interview, and then have kind of a mystery guest or a Q&A session where kids come to the carpet and you allow them to talk with a friend, figure out what do we want to ask the author or what do we want to ask the character from our book, and then bring them into the classroom. Lots and lots of ways that you can utilize this in the elementary classroom. You can do that with one word prompts or one word chatbots, or just by modeling things out in front of the class. But last thing I wanted to showcase for you is a really cool tool called Storybook. So I'm just going to go into the Explore Gyms and show you, this is Storybook right here. And I've got one that I've already made. This is all about, this was a prompt that was really talking about some things happening in an ecosystem, and using leadership strategies in order to solve the problem. So I did not tell this was for a young audience. This was actually for high school kids to reflect on. But you can see a storybook is going to take whatever prompt you give it and try to incorporate that learning lesson into this. So you can think right away probably of ways that you could use your class mascot in different stories, ways that you could customize learning, ways that you could write social stories with this. But it's really fun. And then when I go full screen with this right here, it's also going to make that front and center and featured for you. So I encourage you to check out the Storybook Writer as well. And there is a link to that right here, if you don't want to have to hunt for it in your gyms. Lots and lots of ways to utilize this. Would love to hear from you guys. What are the things you're excited to try to get some of these AI tools in front of kids? And remember, as you're doing that, you're also growing their future skills that they will need, because AI is going to be a very big part of everything these kids do in their future. So giving them some exposure to that sets them up for future success. Thanks so much for diving in. Can't wait to hear how you guys use some of these ideas.